Overall, we wanted to have our primary focus on the energy and effort and just play clean. We didn't play clean, versus A&T, and it came back and bit us. We have too many self-inflicted wounds. We got to grow up. This was the last tune-up before we go into a conference schedule where it's going to be 8 dogs chasing one bone, right? And so at the end of the day, only one dog is going to come up with that bone, and we just got to do a better job of fine-tuning the little things. And I just thought fundamentally we got away from ourselves in the last week and a half. Like, we got to get back to being fundamentally sound, because that's what's going to win ball games. Overall, a clean, valiant effort. Obviously, 40 assists on 49 made field goals is tremendous. DJ had 16 assists, and Floyd was 8 for 10 from the three. So they shared the ball. They had some togetherness about them as a total and a collective, and they should enjoy this one.
And speaking on that total and collective, you can just talk about the bench points you guys got. At least in the first half, it was 40 points coming off the bench. Just talk about the bench's performance. I know previously you talked about it's pretty much a dogfight every practice. Just talk about those guys coming in.
Yeah, so they've placed a lot of pressure on me, because oftentimes in practice, our bench is beating our first 5. So I don't even think we have a bench. I just consider it, we got 10 starters, and, sometimes this guy may have it going and that guy may not, but you don't know who's going to give you what you need. And so that's the purpose of having some depth and some quality depth. So they see themselves as a second group of starters, and so they're more than capable of coming in. Floyd shot 8 for 10 from the three, right? Having that weapon come off the bench, as conference play enters, I was telling our point guards, we got to get him more shots, right? You got to get him more shots, and he got to get himself more shots, and just learning. We got Anthony, who's coming back, and he has 16 points, and he's still kind of tender. He played his first game at A&T, first Division I game. So I kind of threw him in the fire, and we probably suffered because of that, but I have to prepare this young man for what's to come. So overall, I thought the bench was tremendous in coming in, giving us a boost.
Right, and I know you mentioned Anthony coming in, he's a little tender still. Just in terms of injuries overall for the team, I know you guys have had your injury woes throughout the whole beginning of this season. Can you just talk about how's the health of the team doing, how you guys feeling?
We're a little bit better. Still, we asked Santa Claus for some healthy kits, and overall he bought us a couple of healthy kits. Not all of them. I guess it was some more people in the world that needed them also. But Anthony, you can still see him kind of tender a little bit. Isaac is still kind of tender, but overall we as healthy as we're gonna be. And so this next man up mentality from this point on.
Right. And sure, it helps having a bunch of 1As, 1Bs.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just to follow back to some things you said previously at the beginning of the season, pretty much, about how much it's easier to have, and I'm paraphrasing, how much easier it is to have a guy tell him to go as opposed to tell him, to whoa.
Yeah.
As we come up into conference play, it's a very physical league with the MEAC. How do you keep those guys tempered, just focused, and how do you feel they've been able to kind of focus in and just get a better mental when it comes to defense?
I took all responsibility, and we didn't work on offense, but 15 minutes at practice the other day, and everything else has just been, defending. And we got to hold ourselves accountable, and we got to be able to get stops, man. That's what it's all about, and that's what this program has always hung its hat on. In this day and age, it's so difficult not difficult, it's a challenge to get kids that have tendencies from other programs to come in and buy into your tendencies. It's almost like imagine having a 20-year-old kid, imagine adopting a 20-year-old kid, and they're coming into your house, and for that year, they got to adjust to your rules and regulations of your home after living with 4 or 5 families prior to you, right? And so it's like, nah, man, we say grace over here. We take shoes off. We don't wear, we make up our bed in the morning. It's those things. So it's kind of like a perfect analogy for the transfer portal and the environment. We don't have a lot of kids who's been invested in North Carolina Central basketball, and it affects us, right? These are the things that, triggers everything else. So going back to your question, just trying to get the buy-in on the defensive end and get them to understand this is a non-negotiable here, right? This is where we hang our hats. We've always hung our hats here, and we got to do a better job of it, and that starts with me. As we finalize our last game tonight against St. Andrews, I thought we had a chance to win a couple of more games. I think it was Georgia State went through. We've had our chances, right, to go win some more games. But coming out of the non-conference, I think we're readily prepared to enter conference play Saturday.
And, New Year's Eve, do you have any closing message for the Eagles fans, people?
Health, wealth, and prosperity for us, man. And God bless you all. God bless everyone who can hear my voice and see my face, man. I wish you nothing but health, wealth, and prosperity, and may God continue to bless you and your families.